ever since we were all little kids, we have been told the obligations and rules that we all must achieve when we're older.
Why are you gonna wait for someone or something to happen when you can make it your own?
People are always asking kids what they want to do when they grow up, and they're always making the way there seem unimportant. But there's this guy called Rick Ray who is supposed to travel to this really secluded area of India, and he was going to make a documentary called The 10 Questions for the Dalai Lama. And he did this to try to gain some insight of this really righteous man. But Rick Ray also didn't see the way there as important. He only thought about what would come out of the interview.
To get to this place, I would take a journey of a lifetime. I would travel across India and then across the Himalayas with 10 questions to ask. But along the way, I would find many more answers.
After I watched that movie, I wanted to go around and ask people my own question. Rather than asking people what they wanted to do when they grow up, I asked them what they hoped for on their way there.
I want to achieve the power of knowledge.
Probably work on my science, math skills.
Just practice music, maybe go around the world. I kind of want to see a lot of places, so maybe go like to Europe or something, and just have fun on the way and not worry too hard about what I'm going to do when I get older. Just try and enjoy my youth while I can.
I guess to achieve happiness, but I have no idea how I'm going to do that yet. I guess adventure.
No matter what people do, their ultimate goal can be traced back to happiness. So I don't get why we're supposed to always prepare for our adult life when, like, life is about living, and we have to live every day, so I don't know why we wouldn't try to enjoy it. For some people, it's really easy to find happiness every day, but for other people, things really don't go their way, and it's pretty hard.
Before I started high school, I went up with my grandpa because he needed help with like computer stuff, and I kind of just helped him out with that. And what ended up happening, we ended up staying at like an aunt's house, and I ended up being molested that night. After that, my senior year of high school, so 2010, my mom ended up having cancer, thyroid cancer, and my dad lost his job. So I kind of became the mom. I ended up not going to school to take care of my little sister. Ended up, cleaning the house, doing whatever needed to be done. I also ended up getting a job and helping to pay the bills and stuff like that that needed to be done.
I think studying and teaching art is really a process, and I think sometimes it's hard for students because they're really focused on the product. They want to come up in a week or two with a magnificent drawing or painting, and maybe their first attempt at doing a portrait drawing won't be their best attempt. Surely it won't be, but I think it's more important for them to realize that the mistakes they make along the way are a really important part of the learning process, and by making those mistakes and living through them and experiencing them, it will inform their next drawing. And so the process is just so much more important than the final product, especially in the school setting.
Whether it be mistakes or something totally out of your control, if life doesn't go your way, you should just take what happens and learn from it.
Well, besides the two things that happened, which was pretty crappy for like a young person to go through, obviously it made me stronger than it is now. I have like still some high school friends that I talk to, and they're kind of just like confused. They're like, they don't know what to do in life, and like when bad things happen to them, they kind of just shut down. And like, they think nothing's gonna come out good out of whatever. But this made me really strong. Like, obviously I'm more independent than most people. I don't depend on anyone. I became stronger in a lot of ways.
It's that all things are temporal on this earth, and attachment to them will ultimately create a feeling of loss and sorrow.
It's human nature to get attached to things and people, but nothing lasts forever, so you should enjoy the good while it's there and not get sad when there's bad things, because both will go away.
So we need to live life in the moment, not get stuck, you know. For some people, there's like a difference between getting stuck and living in the moment.
I think a lot of artists get comfortable working in a certain style, and sometimes they can get stuck in that style, and it might be apropos to what's going on in their life at the time. But you can always change your mind, and you can always explore different styles, and really art is infinite, and there's no ending. So just because you become comfortable working in one way doesn't mean that you have to continue that, especially if you feel like there needs to be a change.
Now I'm not too depressed now. You know, everybody has their off days, and I do too, but I just made something out of it. I snapped out of it. I was like, okay, I'm done feeling sorry for myself. I think it's time to get other things done in life that need to be done.
All the time, people are just waiting for something. They think like an end will just suddenly hit them out of nowhere. Like an end to their sadness will just come randomly, or one day they think that they will know what they want to do with their lives. But the truth is, like, you have to make everything happen on your own. Even if you can't change what's happening, you can still change your view on it.
It's not about arriving at a certain point in your art, but just continuing the journey.
So our journey throughout life is what makes us, and we can't be waiting for a destination, because the only destination is